Bonjour, Kostis.
Bonjour.
We'll switch to English. So last night we saw Kyuka Before Summer's End.
Yes.
You were directing it. It's your first feature film.
Yes.
And it's already a world that's created here with very strong directorial, precise structure to it. And it feels like it's the continuation of everything you were saying earlier. There's something of a world created here. Can you tell us a little bit how you decided to go for this particular story, maybe, but even more than a story, the way that you set experiences?
When I first started with cinema, back in 2016, I didn't go to a film school, so I wanted to learn through making films and through doing the work. And I had a goal that I would like to make one film per year, one short film per year. And I already have made about 2, and I was thinking of my next one, what it was going to be. And I really wanted to explore the vacations that I used to go with my family on the island of Poros. But soon as I was writing the film, I realized that the short form is not proper for it, because there were so many ideas and so much material flowing, and I decided to turn it into a feature film very quickly. But because I knew from the beginning that this is going to take a while to make, I was prepared, and I didn't want to stay away from making films and from learning. I wanted to, at the same time, create a short film, which is 𝒂𝒂 Before Summer Comes. It's sort of a prequel to Kyuka Before Summer's End. And I used that short film to experiment on the idea, work with the actors, experiment with the cinematography, with a story, and anything new and valuable that I would get from the short film, I would put it on the feature film, on the script.
You have a particular way to set up from the very beginning the way that music works into this world. Would you talk a little bit about your relationship to music and the way that it works with cinema for you?
Yes, and when I was young, about 4 years old, I started playing the piano, and I kept on playing it up until I was an actor in the drama school. Never officially, never doing lessons. I played by ear. I would listen to music like pop songs, Lady Gaga, I don't know, and I would learn them by ear, and I would play on the piano. And when I was in the drama school, I realized that I don't want to be an actor. The first thing that came to my mind is to explore the music, to start playing, composing. And most of the time in the drama school, I composed songs for the plays that we did. And upon leaving the drama school, that was the first thing that I went to do. I sent out to directors and sent my material and told them that I write music and I want to do that. In the film, it came on as a necessity because I didn't have someone to compose it. I didn't really spend much time looking for people to do it. And I really wanted to do it myself because I had a very, very clear vision of how I wanted it to be. And I've already written some lyrics in the script, and I thought that the best way might probably be my way. It was also a very, very good step for me personally, because it was the first time that I would write music for a feature film. And I believe that music is very powerful in the cinema, and it can be a very strong tool to really set the mood in a scene and really provide depth to the narrative and be one with a plot.
I think in particular, I mean, you create a very powerful character as a father. 2 young people who are playful, they have an incredible philosophy, it seems, in a quite dysfunctional family. They seem to have a very strong solidarity, link, playfulness. It's beautiful to see happening on screen. And it seems to me that the music comes here and reflect that sort of opposition between the dramatic tension and at the same time as a sort of freedom, lightness of being. Is that something that you were
Yes.
working with?
Yes, much along with the light and the cinematography in the film. If you notice, the film has two summers, one that is very bright and very joyous and very sweet and nostalgic, and the other one is very dark and cold and almost scary. And you can see that element in both the cinematography and in the editing, in the music. I wanted to have contradictions, like the light and the dark, the scary and the joyous. And music played a role in this. I wanted to be sweet and calm and nostalgic to contradict the dramatic plot and the tension and the struggles of coming of age and being an adult, no matter what is your biological age.
There's something very playful and joyful to watch, which is probably partly coming at the editing stage. This way that you cut some scenes, this way that suddenly something happens which has to do with I don't know what it is, a memory, the feeling that it's at the same time the whole of the childhood that comes up in the moment of the present, something that makes it a sense of time past and a sense of crisis, sort of crisis that's developed for years. That was something that you already knew you were going to do when you shot. This was something that happened at the editing stage. How are you working with those experiments in editing?
I think the film really gives you the feeling of memories, because in its base, it's based on my memories and how I viewed these vacations. So I think it would be, I wouldn't be able to avoid that, because yeah. Anyway, yeah.
But do you think the editing has got to do with these memories, or not necessarily?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Some of them, some of these experimental aspects of the film were written in the script, because I wanted them to have, to be in correlation with the plot. Like in the dinner scene, that was written in the script, because I knew that was the, how you say, the most important...
The climax.
The climax. It was the climax of the film.
Beautiful scene.
Yes, and I wanted it to really, every tool in my asset as a director to be saying the same story. Every tool to contribute to the climax. It's the music, the editing, the acting, the cinematography, everything. As to, like in a classical piece, in a classical musical piece, every organ is playing it to the max in the climax, and then you go to the calm part. In a way, I had the idea of making a film as a classical musical piece, where everything contributes to the essence. And some other experimental stuff came in the editing, because I would be bored of my film, and I would be in need of something fresh and fresh air, and to discover more meaning and depth in the particular scenes that felt that needed some tweaking.
There's also, beside this feel of lightness, there's also quite a bit of anxiety coming through. In particular, through I suppose, the young people. You can feel that they've got an anxiety about the future. There's something that kind of comes through, and also there's a metaphor. This metaphor of the fish. Can you tell us a bit more about what it's supposed to be, and how you worked with that idea throughout the narrative?
It was interesting to have the father feel like someone who is very successful, who can catch fish with his bare hands in a way. But right now he's at a place, at the moment of his life, where he cannot even catch one. The fish is a metaphor for women, for love. And in the scene with the fishes, you can see this dialogue between the mother, which is in his mind, and how he's saying that he doesn't like fish and they don't love him anymore. And Anna says to him that there are plenty of fish in the sea and you will find love and don't worry and everything will be okay. So in a way, the metaphor is that it could be many things, but this was the base of it. I wanted to, through the fish, make this man feel incompetent, because we see him in a moment of his life where everything crumbles, like, and be a character where during the film he makes every single wrong choice, but he believes that he's right, and yeah.
You said, I mean, it feels so much like there's so much being, it's a film of experiences, it's a film of experimentation. You seem to be pushing them towards, you were talking about pushing to the limits. Did you reach the limits? How does it feel now? Are you pleased with what you tried? Does it open to other experimentation in the next film?
I'm very happy because things that I thought that were only for me, that I did, that probably someone wouldn't understand whilst watching the film, would come after the screening and will say to me, "Oh, you did that because that was that," and they would understand the symbolism behind it and the meaning, and that they would see things that I wouldn't have thought about. I think I went pretty close to the limits. I mean, I wouldn't do anything more towards that direction, because then it would be too much. Some things in the film may be for some people too much. I think I stayed in the limits. I really like experimentations and think it is a very healthy tool to have as a director, a very healthy habit to have.
Well, I thank you very much, because I think this way that you're pushing the experimentation makes one feel that you can get hold of your own life. I may be pushing one bit too far myself, but that's what this your cinema is about for me, opening possibilities. Yeah. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words.